I'm here with the boss, Ryan.
Hello, hello.
Spider returning in a major role.
Well, first impression for the episode. Overall, I thought the general plot was actually pretty good. Effects in some places were alright. I noticed a lot of the cuts for the action and stuff like that they're very quick. I felt like this episode had a little bit less of a budget than the other episodes. I'm not sure what happened here. It felt a little more jumpy, but overall, I think the episode was pretty good.
This episode did have a lot more model work. The model work seemed to be not the same quality as some of the earlier model work this show's had. I did really like the episode, though. It was a lot of fun, mainly because Spider got a significant role in it. There's a great scene where the unicorn secret headquarters, and they're like, well, this room is secure. There's no bugs in it. Of course, the unicorn guys go through. Johnny and Jerry are like, yeah, sure. They go through and they find about 6 to 7 different bugs all over the room. Even they miss a spider in the corner, which is a bug. Plot of this transparent aluminum thing that even the giant robot can't damage. That was very clever. The giant claw to me had the least personality of any of the monsters so far. It looked cool. Even the Nucleon ball had way more personality than this thing did. It was used very effectively.
Definitely Spider took a big role in this episode. So Johnny, he gets a good couple parts here. I'd say those are probably the cool little parts here. Spider especially though, I definitely liked his roles.
Spider was a lot of fun in this. They never recognize him without the glasses on, which leads me to think that those glasses are somewhat hypnotic.
Superman glasses.
A couple times in here where he speaks to Unicorn agents, even the chief of Unicorn, they don't recognize his voice. The girlfriend of Johnny Sacco, which is what she's normally in here for, the communications officer, she was the one that picked up on, hey, wait, this is not a unicorn voice. I think she kind of knew who it was. She ends up saving Johnny and Jerry Mono, because Jerry Mono and Johnny are tied up, and the giant robot watch is away from Johnny where he can't get at it. She comes in, starts a car that the gargoyle agents are sitting on, and kind of launches that. Car. Yeah, they're playing cards on the car, and she kind of launches that to save Johnny and Jerry. And it's a great scene. It's one that I think I agree with you on, that she definitely shined. She's not the star, obviously, so she's not going to be totally saving the day, but this gave her a moment where she could actually use her communication skills to save Johnny and Jerry, and that was great. I thought Jerry Mono had some good scenes in here too, because he got to show off kind of that spy thing again, where he punched out 2 or 3 gargoyle agents. Because Jerry's not going to handle the giant claw. That's going to have to be Johnny and the robot. He flew in with the jetpack and he kind of did a double headlock, saved the chief.
Yeah, and if we're talking about spy moments with him, so there's a moment where they're being chased down by Gargoyle in the cars. They start shooting at the unicorn car. He tells Johnny, he goes, oh, these unicorn cars are made for this. And then he activates this little button and a bunch of smoke starts coming out the exhaust. It freezes the entire road. The gargoyle car starts spinning out. They couldn't catch up to them after that.
The gargoyle car does a Three Stooges spin in a circle, like a half a minute or whatever. Yeah. It was great. The first time that they go in disguised as unicorn people to steal the plans to this transparent aluminum, they actually get away with it. There's something fishy about it. It seems like it's too easy, and Guillotine is suspicious about it. So he tells him, open the briefcase, which the plans are supposed to be in. And the briefcase explodes, like gas all over the place. Next time Spider has to talk to Guillotine, smoke comes out of his mouth. With this dude's facial expressions and then the smoke, it was hilarious. Let's talk about Johnny's development in this episode. Lately, we've seen him become more heroic.
Yeah, I'd say he's definitely still going along that path for sure. He's doing more controlling of the robot, but we're also seeing the robot kind of be a little more autonomous. So that's becoming a growing trend within the episodes or as they get further on. There's not too much more to say from last episode to this episode because it is still slowly moving in that direction. But overall, I think he is getting that main character role that he should be getting.
If we went back to, say, the desert episode with Ligon Tyros again, he was definitely the star of that episode. You know, he did all kinds of... Here, he helps find the bugs, except for the one spider one in the corner. He is controlling the robot without Jerry there. Jerry is doing something separate. There is trust here. He's not James Bondy situation he was in against Ligon Tyros, but he's definitely not just part of the team, but a trusted member of the team.
Yeah.
They open this showing off this transparent aluminum. Giant robot uses fire against it, uses his missile against it, he uses his strength against it, he can't damage it. What did you think about the way the robot was used in here?
We didn't get any new upgrades yet so far for this episode.
He's used the I-beam before.
Yeah.
And we've seen the fire in the credits.
I think it works for this because, as we've seen earlier in the episode when he tries to shoot the rockets at it, it doesn't really seem to do much to it. It just kind of, it kind of withstands those rockets. Then the very, end fight scene, it gets stuck inside of, a mountain. And then he shoots the fire at it. And that, I guess, seems to get within the internals. And because it's a robot, it probably just couldn't handle the heat and blew up.
When he's shooting the missiles at it and those things that aren't really doing anything to it, it's facing him.
Yeah.
And where you have two big old openings behind the claw. The claw is a giant literal hand. It's a claw. The thing in the Addams family, except metal and clawed. But it has two rocket jets behind it, right?
Yeah.
It's sticking out of where the wrist would be. When it gets stuck into the mountain, those two openings are facing the robot. It's the only time during the episode where those two openings are facing the robot. That's when he fires into it. So I think you're right. He got into the internals because he went through those two jet holes.
Yeah.
The fight scene, the robot had to do something way different than what he's done at this point. He basically ducks and dodges.
Oh, yeah.
Because everything he uses against it is ineffective. Everything it uses against him is effective. When it shoots at him, he feels it.
It also has the added effect of being pretty much a hand, so we can manipulate and control the robot in ways that other things couldn't. Because it's about 3 times robot size. It's extremely large. Other things that did have hands that were fighting him, they're about the same size as him, so they're not going to have too much power over what he does. But in this episode, we see the claw, just kind of constrict him and hold him down.
The claw was going to squash him.
Yeah.
Johnny comes up with the idea of the robot going into kind of a whirling dervish spin, which breaks the claw's grip. I like that too, because it showed the connection between Johnny and the robot. Sometimes the robot seems like he can handle it on his own, but here, if Johnny hadn't been there, he was not going to figure out how to get out of that.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking.
And then, of course, he destroys it using brain, right? Dodging him until the thing gets stuck in the mountain.
Yeah.
Because he dodges it 3 or 4 times.
I thought the fight scene was kind of funny, mainly, because it felt like, a matador and a bull. So he's dodging the hand in the way that you would see a matador go, ole, and then pull the flag out the way. Yeah, I thought that was a funny little dynamic there.
My favorite special effects scene, the whole thing, is when the claw itself is coming after the blue car that has the plans in it.
Yeah.
You see the claw flying, and it's this huge thing, and this tiny little car that it's chasing, and you're like, there's no way the claw can actually grab the paper. It's too big. If it grabs that car, it's gonna blow it up. But it looked kind of really cool. I mean, it was really nice model work. Let's wrap this up with the claw itself.
Overall, I thought as a villain to the robot, it definitely was more of a threat than any of the other ones we've seen so far. Just for the added effect that it was way larger than him and that it had the ability to obstruct his movement, his other abilities. We see the hand rockets. He needs his hands to do that, and he can't do that if he's constricted. So I think overall as a villain, I think he was probably one of the higher in tier.
You're right. He's one of the more powerful villains. When it comes to personality, I didn't like it much at all.
Yeah.
I like the look, so for me, it's not in the class that I want to see it again the way I would, say, the Draculon or the ninja dragon that was really cool and could disappear and all that. I probably rank it around the gargoyle vine.
Yeah, and what gets me is with something like a hand, you could be very expressive with it. With our hands, we can move them individually by fingers. We can rotate. With a detached hand, you could do pretty much all the same things except with a little more expression. They could have made it look around with rotate around as if it was looking at things.
That's what kind of what they did with the Nuklon ball, which is what added the personality to it. You know, the spines on the ball would move in different directions and give you kind of a different emotion.
Yeah.
And I really liked that.